Hi everyone, and I'm going to be chatting today about fear and how psychology may bring a bit of insight into how we can cause ourselves to have blockages in our lives and be stuck, have a sense of being stuck or trapped, and also having a sense of being a victim, but essentially having a sense of being trapped. Many people have the sense of I'm stuck, I'm trapped, I cannot act, I cannot do anything. And there's ways of breaking that. It's a mental prison that we create for ourselves through our ways, our thought patterns. So we need to shift that and break those thought patterns to help anyone who feels like that understand that you are never completely trapped. You are never completely a victim. You may experience an event that is violating or intrusive and against your will. But it's our perception and understanding of that event that also helps us determine how we're going to heal and how we're going to feel after that event. Many people suffer a traumatic event and a traumatic experience, and they struggle for a long time to get to a place of what they may term as feeling more healing, feeling like they are healing, feeling like they're on a road of moving onwards. It takes people a long time to get to that place sometimes. And the reason being is because of their perception of the event and the experience in itself in a compounded way. So we can use examples to help bring a better understanding about this. Perhaps you are violated, can be emotional, verbal, mental. Think of all those types of things. It also can be physical, can be sexual, can be different ways. But what happens is when you are understanding this, it's a good idea to understand that you are not that event. And it takes a lot of perhaps deep psychology to get to this place. So once again, having a quick chat like this doesn't do any of these subjects justice, but it's just I'm bringing it out there so that you may be aware of it. You are not that experience, you are not that event, and moving yourself onwards and understanding that every event, every experience, every interaction you go through is not you, it's not your identity. It is something that has happened, but it has enabled you to grow and have a deeper understanding and awareness. And any type of painful event, when it's understood from a wider perspective, we begin to understand that that gives us a wider vision and a wider understanding and a wider sense of compassion and understanding for things. And when we get to that point, we perhaps can shift our mindset a little bit in perceiving how this experience may have affected us. The key thing then is to begin to see yourself as a transformative being, and you're never meant to be the same way. And what happens with a lot of people is when they undergo a traumatic event, they have a lot of regret and sadness and longing to be the person they were before that event, before that traumatic incident. They wish to go back to that place. That is why it's so key to begin to understand yourself as a transformative being. You're never meant to be fixed, to be in one state of sense of identity. So you are always transforming, and sometimes events happen to us that force us and compel us to undergo a great shift. So when you understand you are transforming and changing all the time, this enables you to grow. The change and transformation you may have to go through is not always easy. It's oftentimes painful and difficult, and it brings about a sense of conflict because you have to let go of preconceived ideas, preconceptions of your identity, and all these types of things. And now you're shifting and you're having to grow and develop in other ways. But this isn't to be feared or sensed with ideas of unwantedness. It's part of the human nature. It's part of our world. You can't be a baby forever. You can't be a toddler forever. You can't be the little school child forever. We just have to grow and keep on going. And we should have more acceptance in the process. We're going to all age. We're all going to have wrinkles if we do get to an advanced age. We all are going to naturally get to a point where our bones become weaker and our joints aren't as subtle as they were, and all these types of things, supple as they were. But the idea is not having a sense of attachment to your previous sense of being and understanding that you are transforming and you're growing all the time. And when you begin to have a sense of identity that's much deeper and beyond superficiality, and understand that no one can ever necessarily no one has power over you. You have power over yourself, but it starts from the mind level, and you have to become in control of your thoughts and your thought patterns. So whatever you undergo, you may feel now that you're a victim of that experience and that person has totally damaged you or damaged you to a degree, but you need to, at this point now, become more thoughtful of your thought patterns and really take control of yourself and understand that at the end of the day, it's you are in control. You create the prison environment. You create that sense of entrapment. And there's many different ways of therapy that you can undergo to help you get to this level of more empowerment and more of a sense of freedom. I think the type of therapy that you may choose needs to be considered or personalized after someone has spent some time with you and understood what your needs and wants are. And then you can follow a line of therapy that helps you get to a place of realization that we are constantly all being exposed to something, undergoing something. We all have been, we all are, or we all will be going through something. And you may look at some people and say, but they've had a really easy life, they've never had any difficulties. But we don't know everyone's full story. We don't know everyone's full story. We think we know people sometimes, but we do not know what they have and have had to go through. What have they had to face? Therapy, psychology, our thoughts, our emotions, we only perhaps beginning to understand how effective and powerful they are. Hypnotherapy has been used for a long time, and it still is used, and it's quite useful. And like I said, there's many different ways of therapy you can explore to begin to understand these things. But it is a good idea to understand whenever you feel trapped, whenever you feel like you're just a victim, whenever you feel that there is no sense of hope, that there is no way of breaking this prison that you feel you're in, there is. But it begins with you. You have to somehow open up yourself and take the first step to want to get out. You have to take that first step and then follow what you need to follow in the line of therapy or therapies that you need to follow to get to the path where you want to go. And we're all transforming. We all are on a journey, a personal journey of some sort. What we all have to do really is to learn. We're learning something. And some of us have harder lessons to learn than others. Some of us have easier lessons to learn. And it's not about worrying about what other lessons other people are learning, what are they undergoing, but it's more an idea of learning what you need to learn and focusing on that, mastering that. Just focus on yourself, focus on the lessons you need to learn. Don't worry about everyone else around you. Of course, have compassion and understanding, and understand we all need support. Support others, let them support you. But don't always be focused on why do they only have to go through this? Why am I having to go through this and they don't have to go through this? And those types of things. Don't worry about that. Just focus on what you need to do. You may have undergone a traumatic, painful experience or whatever you've had to experience. Focus on what you need to focus on to help you learn what you need to learn and develop from it, so that you may perhaps help another person that has to go through a similar experience in the future. Take care and keep well, and may you have a lovely day or evening wherever you are when you're watching this.